Hi everyone, so today I wanted to talk all about why you should always look your best. And so if you are completely new here and you were just recommended this video and you don't know who I am Miriam Amani and I am a personal beauty consultant. And so I offer consults like styling consults through my website, and I've had the opportunity to do this for quite a few years now, let's put it that way. And I've learned some things along the way, and I wanted to sort of share my experience about why I went into this field in the first place, and also why it's important to me, and also what my clients have found to be important to them as well. So the first reason why I believe looking your best is so important is because beautifying is actually an act of self-care. Now, a lot of the time, we may think that beautifying ourselves may be something that we should leave to sort of like a last priority. And I found that whenever I do this to myself, or whenever my loved ones do this or my friends do this, they really start to feel a lot worse about themselves, because I think that there's something about beautifying yourself that is very much personal, very much showing yourself that you matter. And it really makes you feel so much better about yourself, because it's not so much because you look better that you feel better about yourself, although of course that's an aspect and we can't deny that that's an aspect. It's more that you've taken the time on yourself and you've taken the energy on yourself to do something for yourself. And I see it as sort of like taking care of your environment. Like if you clean up your room and you decorate your room, you decorate your home, that just feels so much better. And in the same way, if you choose to beautify yourself, that can also be very much like an act of self-care, and it can really make you feel so cared for. It's like an act of self-love. And so I really like that aspect, and I like that it's very much, this is all really very personal, and it's all about you and how you feel about it. And a lot of the time we talk about beauty, we kind of talk about how other people see us, but it's not only about that, it's about how you see yourself, of course. But the next thing is also, the second reason is confidence and opportunities. Now, this is sort of, there is that aspect, like my first point was more like the self-care aspect, taking care of yourself, taking care of how you feel and things like that. And this is more about sort of like a different energy. It's sort of like it makes you feel more confident, makes you feel more put together, more out there, and you're more likely to go up to someone and talk to them if you see them. Like if you look good at the grocery store or on the train or something and you see an ex-coworker, you may go up to them and talk to them because you feel confident, your hair looks good, whatever it is, and you may get to talking to them, and then they may have a work connection. They may have something that would be of use to you, that would be better for you. So that would have been a missed opportunity if you didn't go up and talk to them. And so this is the type of thing that can really, on the long term, almost change your life, because it's like, if you're always holding yourself back, if you always don't feel confident about how you look, if you're always saying, I don't feel comfortable like talking to people, I don't feel comfortable being out there, I don't feel comfortable, then that's a totally different lifestyle than someone who is always comfortable with how they look. So I really say, put that time into yourself. Whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable and beautiful and confident in how you look, it's worth it. It's worth the time. It's worth the time to spend on yourself, because it's not wasted time. It's time that will improve your life in almost every way. Think about the family photos that you don't want to be in, and think about how that extends for the rest of your life, for your loved ones. I think someone commented under one of my videos, because I had another video on this, so that I think it was like, just do your hair. I think that was the video. And someone said that I think it was under that video, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you the story anyway. Someone said that their grandma never wanted to be in any photos, in any family photos, and she never let them take any photos of her because she thought she looked so bad. And then she passed away, and so they didn't have any recent photos of her at all, because they obviously they wanted to respect her wishes. So yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff it seems like it's something to overlook. It's something, you're not going to spend time on yourself or something, but it's really not something to overlook. When you feel good about yourself, when you feel comfortable, you affect everyone around you, and that affects you too. And so it's really so powerful to take care of how you look, to take care of yourself. And so the next thing is it's a little bit more difficult to explain. So it helps you to see your own beauty now. And so it also helps others to see your beauty, and I'll get into that. Right now, we're only talking about you. And I intentionally made the first part of this video about you and not about other people, because I do think that when it comes to how you look, it's so, so personal, and it is about you. It's primarily about you. So in terms of taking care of how you look, finding things that are flattering, finding the colors that are flattering, finding the silhouettes that are flattering, I have just time and time again, like people, like my clients, and you would think, okay, well, I'm a stylist. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm a stylist, I call myself a beauty consultant. And so what I do for my clients is I find their color type and their most flattering colors that flatter their beauty. It's not about necessarily trends or anything like that. It's about what flatters you personally. And I find their body type. And so what silhouettes flatter them regardless of trends. And some people will email me and say, this has been life-changing. And it's like, well, it's really just the clothes you're wearing, but it really can be life-changing. I know it has been for me, and it has been for a lot of my clients. And so I believe the reason why it's life-changing is because of the first two reasons that I said, and also because of this, where it really helps you to see your own beauty. And so what happens when you flatter yourself, when you wear clothing that's flattering? It teaches you to see your own beauty through that experience. When you're wearing things that are flattering, you start to realize things that look good about you, not things that look bad about you. We all have things that we may not like about how we look, and we may like. And so the trick is that we're going to wear things and do things to how we look to amplify our good qualities and amplify what we find beautiful about ourselves. And so as you do that iteratively and over again, you're going to find that you start to see your own beauty more. You're actually practicing and rehearsing seeing your own beauty by beautifying yourself. Now, that's for you. Now, for other people, they will actually also learn to see you as beautiful if you show up looking your best often, and more often than not. And here's why. Imagine if someone has beautiful hazel eyes. They're the most stunning thing about them, but they usually wear just their hair really messy, which distracts from their eyes, and their clothing are just distracting from their eyes. They don't wear any makeup to accentuate their hazel eyes, so their hazel eyes just kind of get lost. It's kind of a soft color, a hazel color, and it gets lost. And nobody ever knows that their hazel eyes are that beautiful, and that person may not even feel that their hazel eyes are beautiful, right? But now what happens if this person wears flattering eye makeup almost every day and accentuates their hazel eyes? Now their family, their friends, their coworkers, their acquaintances, they are all going to realize, oh, she has really beautiful hazel eyes, because that makeup that she's wearing and everything accentuates it, so people notice the hazel eyes. And then let's say one day she just doesn't wear that makeup. What happens? People still remember that you have beautiful hazel eyes, right? So that's what happens to you too. You don't have to do this all the time. You don't have to, you can have a day where you don't look your absolute best. Just remember that it is so important. Just remember that doing this as a lifestyle and looking your best as a lifestyle can really, really improve your life. And it can help you see your own beauty, and it can help other people see your beauty as well. So now let's move into the next two reasons. So we have people will treat you better. So the next two reasons are almost like an outward expression of the first two reasons. So remember how for my first reason was all about you, and how beautifying yourself is a way of self-care and is an act of self-love and teaching yourself that you're worth the time. Now, to get this out of the way, of course, people treat you better probably because you also look better in a very shallow way. We do live in a pretty shallow society, and there is that sort of negative aspect to this conversation that we just can't ignore, that if you put yourself together and you look better, then people will treat you better just because you look prettier, more conventionally pretty potentially, and that is there, and that's not something that we can deny or just not talk about at all. That is there. Yeah, so, but then again, there's also this other aspect that I believe is just as important, and it's that it teaches people also that you care about yourself, so they should care about you, you see? And so it's not only this sort of negative, toxic aspect. I do believe that there's also an aspect where if you put time into yourself and you put time into how you look, it signals to people that you believe that you are worth the time. And so people treat you better because of that. And so the next example, I guess, is again an outward expression of my reason number 2, which is that you're more confident and you don't have missed opportunities. That was my reason number 2, and that was all about you. But how that relates to other people is the same thing. When people see that you're confident and when people see that you have shown up, they take notice. So it's not only your energy that's improved and that's going to affect things. Now we're talking about you seem more put together. You know, if you arrive to a job interview and you look polished and you look perfect, not only does it show that you are competent, you know, you're self-aware, you know what looks good on you, it also shows that you've shown up. You have done your best, you're ready to be there, and you've shown up for yourself and you've shown up for them. And so there is that social aspect of looking good and looking put together and looking polished. It's that you've shown up for the other person, you've shown up for the job interview, you've shown up for the opportunity, you don't have a missed opportunity. And so that can really affect your life as well, of course. So there's so much to this. It's interesting because sometimes it seems like the smallest things can make the biggest differences in a way. You know, it's almost like, I don't know, like you smile at someone and it just changes their life or it changes their day. Like you smile at a stranger, that kind of thing. And we often think that it's the big things that make the big differences. And certainly sometimes it is the big things that make the big differences. But sometimes it can also be the small things, like getting your hair done in the morning, putting on a little bit of makeup, and making that a habit and doing that regularly. That can actually make such a big difference in your life. So that is it, you guys. That's all I have to say for this video. If you have any comments or video requests, as usual, leave them in the comments section. And if you have particularly any experiences about how looking good or feeling like you look good or feeling like you look bad or feeling confident or not confident about how you look has affected your life, then I'd be very curious to hear those experiences. So leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you are interested in my typings, my consults, then I'll leave all of those links down below. And I also have an exclusive membership group called Miriam Style Club, and I'll leave a link to that down below as well. So if you take a look around my channel and you like a lot of the typing content, a lot of the color content and body typing content, then you are also going to like Club. It's more content basically like what I have here on YouTube, except more in depth. And so the consults are a color typing, which is your most flattering colors, a body typing, your most flattering silhouettes, and then the full report, which is the full thing. And so it includes the color typing, the body typing, essence, your priority area, and everything in between. So it's kind of like a full, well, it's a full report. That's what it's called. So I have links to all of that down below. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know your video requests as usual, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.